Welcome to this video. My name is Taylor Benchud, and we're going to be going over the AMS Prime Day Strategy. I know I said PPC strategy in yesterday's video, but these are the 4 things that we're going to be talking about and what we're going to be doing for Prime Day. Not on every single account, but for certain accounts. First, let me talk about last year, what we did. Last year, we increased the bids, we increased the budgets, and we went down the whole path that Amazon sends an email out to every single seller telling them to do. Amazon says, increase your bids, increase your budget. This is going to be a big day. There's a ton of traffic. You're going to see a lot of sales. Hey, that's true. You're probably going to see an increase in sales if you have a product that's more geared towards Prime Day, and you're going to get deals. But on the PPC side of things, when Amazon blasts out an email to millions of sellers, and they're telling everybody increase your bids and increase your budgets, everybody's going to do that. Not everybody, but the ones that don't really have any guidance whatsoever, they're going to do that, and it's going to drive the average cost per click up, and it's going to basically kill, you're going to burn through a lot of money. So we do not increase bids on Prime Day. A lot of people do that. It's a freaking nightmare from what we saw last year. There was a couple accounts that were okay and didn't really see any negative effects from it, but for the most part across the board, it wasn't worth it. And we burned through a lot of extra capital across a lot of different accounts that we probably could have just saved and put otherwhere. So we are going to be doing this for this year. Number 1, increasing the budgets. Very simple. We increase the budgets anywhere between 100% to 1,000%. So if our budget is at $100 on a campaign, it's one of our top performing campaigns, we'll probably raise it like 500%. I usually don't put the campaigns anywhere above $500 budget on the day, just because there's a certain amount that our client may want to spend, or there's a certain risk threshold that you need to have. So think about it like this on Prime Day. Since the data that we get from Amazon, especially in AMS, is not real time, and there's people that add to cart and don't purchase right away, well, what happens is if you hit your budget at $500 at 2 p.m. in the day, and you need to make a decision on whether or not you want to increase your budget, how do you know whether or not you should increase it? Because the sales data is delayed. So if you see it's like a 70% ACOS, well, it might be a 70% ACOS because half the people add to cart, but they didn't purchase because they're going to purchase at the end of the day, right? You don't know that window that comes from the add to cart. So there's a lot of blind spots when it comes to whether or not you should increase your budgets more or not. So we stay more so on the slightly conservative side just in case, because one, if our client's willing to spend a ton of money, we'll spend a ton of money and we'll do that if that's what they want. But if it's up to us, we're going to be a little bit more conservative. We're going to increase the budgets, but really I'm never going above $500 per day on a campaign, because it's just past that point it gets a little bit crazy. Depends on the account, depends on a lot of different things, but for us that's one of the thresholds we go to. So Prime Day campaigns, number 2, Prime Day keywords is important to bid on. Why? Well, because you never freaking know. A lot of people say, you know what, Prime Day keywords, everybody's going to be bidding on them, you're not going to make any sales, don't bid on it. That's what everybody said about Mother's Day keywords, and that's what everybody said about Father's Day keywords. But time and time again, Sean Smith, who I work with, he's my partner on the sponsored product side of things, just crushes with like Mother's Day keywords, crushes with Father's Day keywords. And that really opened up my mind, because I used to think, you know what, no, it's not worth it. But then he goes and shows me results of like Mother's Day broad match, bringing in like $2,000 in sales at like a 15% ACOS. It might have only been like $1,000, but it was something crazy how much in sales he brought in from the Mother's Day, Father's Day keywords. So Prime Day, why would you not bid on it? Put it in at a low bid. Don't put it in as a high bid. If you put it in at a high bid, obviously you're going to burn through a lot of money. Low bid, so that you're attracting more long tail keywords on the extension of the keyword Prime Day, right? And by low bid, I mean between 37 to 77 cents. That's always a low bid definition for myself. But if the profit margin on your product is $50 after all cost of goods sold, well, then you're going to want to probably put a bid of like $1.50, maybe $1.77, something more aggressive, because it depends on the margin of your product. Again, if the margin of your product is $2 after all expenses, well, you're going to probably want to put your bid somewhere at like 20 cents, maybe like 17 cents, because 10 clicks almost equals your margin, and you don't want to lose money. You want to just make these campaigns profitable. So you got to factor that in, right? 1/10 of your margin is pretty conservative, because if you have a 10% conversion rate, that means you're going to be basically break even. Okay. So 3, not increasing bids. I already talked about this. We did this last year. We burned through money. There was a couple accounts where it was fine, but hey, we're not going to do it this year. And 4, Prime Day PDE campaigns. This one's kind of ninja. So this year we're going to be targeting people like sellers that are running deals, that are going to be running the Prime Day deals, and this is kind of guesswork. It's not necessarily ideal because you can't set the campaigns up a little bit earlier. But what we're going to be doing is targeting the top sellers with product display ads at a lower bid, and we're going to be able to see if we can kind of steal a ton of sales and traffic from the people that are running deals through the product display ads. Now, I don't no idea how this is going to go. We attempted to do it last year, but not fully. So I'm going to fully try to attempt to do it this year. And we've already launched a ton of campaigns in one account for basically targeting the top sellers who we're expecting to run deals on, we're going to expect that are going to run deals on Prime Day. And we can adjust the bids on Prime Day to see how it performs, to go aggressive or not so aggressive, and basically see how that works. Another thing is with your PDA campaigns. The PDA campaigns is really the only campaign where I might raise the bid a bit, and the reason why is because nobody freaking uses product display ads, period. So when you have a product display ad campaign that's crushing, and I mean like crushing, it's important that you might want to go in and raise the bid. It's important that you go in and raise the bid a bit, because since nobody uses product display ads anyways, not many people are going to be raising their product display ad bids, okay? So sponsor products, yes, every seller in their mind uses it, but Amazon isn't blasting an email out saying, raise your product display ad bids, because sellers in Seller Central don't even have access to it. So if you are an AMS and you have that privilege, take advantage of it, because you may be able to get a lot more sales through the product display ads. And that's something where it's going to be very, very cool to see how that performs across a lot of the accounts that we're working with, because we have a lot of accounts that just smash out of the product display ads. So that's what I'm most interested about and curious to see how that performs. So hopefully you found this a little bit valuable. It's basic. We try to keep everything super basic and simple. There's a lot of people doing crazy, weird strategies out there. I mean, hey, we like to keep it simple. We've tried some crazy stuff last year and the year before, and honestly, from what we tested, it's best to just freaking keep it simple. Increase your budgets. We're not going to increase the bids. Test Prime Day keywords and test some cool product display ad campaigns targeting who you think is going to run deals during Prime Day, but keep the bids low and keep the budgets low on those PDA campaigns, because those things will spend like crazy. So like you might even want to go 1/20th of your margin as the bid, because that range is like safe. So hopefully you found this video valuable. If you have any questions, just comment them below, or you can DM me personally. Again, I specialize in basically helping 7 and 8 figure sellers increase their sales through a 7-week training program. We also work with some sellers that are doing a little bit less than 7 figures, but we got to make sure your account's good. So thanks for watching this. Ciao.